fueled by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, viewers like you, and
Delta. Because learning about geography is a great way for kids to learn about each other, no matter where they hang their hats. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
Curses, it's getting so hard to outsmart those. Well, that's all about to change. And make everyone totally clueless. For this theft, I'll call in Mediva.
Ah! Peas in pods and grapes in a bunch! Darn it, Carmen. You interrupted my lunch.
Oh, whatever. I'm sending you through the time port to Europe in the year 1609. There's something very special I want you to steal.
Snake on rye with monkey slime. Crime beef eating every time.
Good. This info beam will give you all the details. Now get going.
time pilots. Mediva just stole something from the past. You've got 28 minutes to get it back, or history will change forever. Initiate chrono skimmer launch sequence. Boot up the chrono computer. Engines. Extend the temporal sequencer. Now, get going!
We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Chrono skimmer, engines hot, vile villains. Will help us defeat her and bring back the loot to its rightful place in time. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? Stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? We're on the case and we're chasing her through history.
And here's the Time Pilot Squadron leader, Kevin Shinnick.
Welcome aboard, everybody. Want you to hang on tight because we've got a very big mission, but very little time. So let's meet today's time pilots, starting with Adam Stolt. Welcome aboard, Adam. Good to see you, buddy. And Vimal Volodia. Vimal, come on out. Nice to have you in the squadron. And Colleen Tabasco. Colleen, nice to see you. All right, time pilots, just so you know, we depend on fact fuel to power the chrono skimmer, and you guys will be generating that fuel with your answers. Points. Let's check in with the chrono skimmer engine crew, shall we? All right. Always like to start with a little dancing. And now it looks like they're ready and raring to go. Let's begin our pursuit of Mediva. Chief, what's our mission profile?
Squadron, your time target is 1609. Destination, Europe. Before the 1600s, people generally learned about current events from handwritten letters or the town crier. But in 1609, a new system developed for circulating up-to-date information. A variety of stories were printed together in a standard layout and released on a regular schedule. So even though the stories would change, they were distributed at the same time and in the same format. Or that's what history told us till now, when Mediva traveled back in time and stole this source of information.
Thanks, Chief. Pilots, for 10 power points, what did Mediva steal? Billboards, newspapers, or books? Remembering the clues we just heard, Europe in 1609, variety of stories and source of current information, and standardized format and distribution. Guys, lock onto an answer as soon as you can there so we can begin starting this mission. Guys locked on? Okay. Adam, what'd you say, pal?
I said newspapers.
All right. Vimal?
I said newspapers.
Colleen?
I said newspapers.
Well, the correct answer is newspapers. Way to go, guys. Off to a good start. And now we know what Mediva stole we want to give back. And I'll tell you, if one of you today can retrieve that loot and capture Carmen Sandiego, you will win a complete multimedia computer system, all right? So let's go get it back. let's warp to the time of the crime. All right, we follow Medivh to 1609, but I think she knows we're on to her because she's about to do some globe hopping in the early 1600s, all right? So it's time for Global Pursuit. Grab your controls, watch the globe on your screen, and buzz in when you think you know the right answer. If you're right, you get 5 power points, but if you're wrong, you lose 5. That's just how it works. Okay, remember, we're in the early 1600s, but we're referring to places by their 20th century names. Here we go. Medivh has gone to the country where King Charles I is dissolving Parliament. Going to Colleen.
England?
Correct. He ruled England for 11 years without Parliament. Now she's in the country where Tokugawa Ieyasu is, yes, Vimmel.
Japan?
Correct. Is the shogun ruler, I was going to say. Shogun ruler. All right, Medivh is in the country where the novel Don Quixote is, yes, Colleen.
Spain?
Correct, Spain. Don Quixote was first published in Spain. She's whisked to the nation where the Ottoman Sultan Ahmed I has died. Yes, Vimmel.
Turkey?
Correct. He was succeeded by his brother. Now she's gone to the country where Cardinal Richelieu is chief minister to King Louis XIII. Yes, Colleen.
France.
Correct. All right, guys. Well done. That's the good news. The bad news is Medivh just skipped out of France right before we got there. I just was informed of that. So, wait a second. Hey, the clue finder. All right, it's locked on to someone in the future. Let's bring them on board and see if they can help us.
Just hold still. This will just take a second.
Well, listen.
A couple of minutes, we'll be done. I know.
Sir, excuse me, we don't have time for that. I mean, when you're done watching your television, could you keep an eye out for the stolen newspapers?
What I'm watching is you. I'm trying to take your picture. If you just hold still.
Well, we're on a mission. We can't hold still because,
no, you know, hold still. If you move one arm, it's not going to work,
well,
all right?
Look, this one arm right here says squadron leader, and it's my job to keep things moving,
Listen,
okay?
Hold still for Matthew Brady, all right? Just hold still for a second.
I don't have... Wait, the Matthew Brady? Gosh, if you take my picture, my face will be seen by everybody, or remembered by everybody.
You're right, Sonny. I've taken pictures of a lot of American presidents. In fact, I'm scheduled to take President Lincoln next week, all right? So just hold still. You're doing
Wow, wait a minute. You got a bunch of U.S. presidents to hold still? I mean, not even Larry King can do that. Oh, sorry.
You gotta hold still. It's not gonna work. All right, you're doing good. Hold on.
Okay.
Now, listen, let me tell you. You know, my greatest work is coming up. We're doing these pictures of the war, like the dead bodies on the battlefield at Antietam. I've got a team collecting all the brutal history of war on film. Photography, for the first time.
So wait. So you're doing with pictures what newspapers do with words by spreading the news far and wide, and oh, that's just great. What about my picture? Hey, no, wait.
Sure.
How are people going to remember me, huh?
I got one word to describe the memories people are going to have of you.
Yeah?
Blurry.
Blurry.
Can't stop moving.
Listen, can I, at least, can I get doubles of those, or, a free set of film or something? It wasn't worth asking. It just causing trouble. All right, pilots, where in time is Medivh? The late 1830s, the early 1860s, or the mid-1870s? Remember the clues we just heard? Photographer Matthew Brady, battlefield photos of Antietam, and President Abraham Lincoln. All right, lock on to an answer as soon as you can, so we could get back this loot. Everybody in? Okay. Adam, buddy, what'd you say?
So the 1860s.
Okay, and Vimmel?
I also said the 1860s.
Colleen?
I said the 1830s.
All right, correct answer is the early 1860s, so 10 points for Adam and Vimmel. And pilots, Matthew Brady's photos tell incredible stories about the events he recorded with them. But no news will be the only news if we don't get back the newspaper. Engine room, let's warp to the early 1860s. Okay, time pilots, we made it back to the early 1860s. Oh, no. All right, that last warp really depleted our fact fuel. We need to refuel with a data boost. Time pilots, I'll name a historical event. Your job, buzz in and tell me whether it took place in the 1860s or the 1960s. If you're right, you get 5 power points, but if you're wrong, you lose 5, okay? Remember, 1860s or 1960s. Rolling Stone magazine begins publication. Yes, Vimmel.
1960s?
Correct, 1967. President assassinated 5 days... Yes, Colleen.
1860s.
Correct, 1865. What I was going to say was President assassinated 5 days after U.S. wins major war, and that was the Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered April 9th, 1865, and Lincoln was shot on April 14th. A lot of info. Okay. President impeached for the first time in U.S. history. Yes, Vimmel.
1960s.
Actually, it's 1868. It's a tough one, though. Andrew Johnson was accused of improperly firing an official. He wasn't convicted, and he did not resign. Okay, first African-American to hold cabinet position in U.S. Yes, Adam.
1960s.
Correct, 1966 in U.S. government. Robert C. Weaver, Secretary of Department of Housing and Urban Development. All right, Mariah Mitchell becomes first woman professor of astronomy in the U.S. Yes, Colleen.
1960s.
Actually, it was 1865. But, guys, that was a great job because you've replenished our fact fuel. You can relax there for a minute now. And just a reminder, all our fact fuel is verified by Encyclopedia Britannica. Now let's continue on our mission and get back the newspaper, all right? If only we could get our hands, though, on Medivh and the newspaper, because so far, I've got... Wait a second.
Teeth of cobra and frog's breath, too. You time toads haven't got a clue. I'm at a special press conference in the White House, home of presidents. In every conference up till now, just men reporters were allowed, but Roosevelt's wife, Eleanor, changes traditions that came before. At her press briefings, believe it or not, women are welcome and men are not. The First Lady explains in her own way to millions of women in the USA about New Deal programs now in effect to help the economy the Depression wrecked. At the same time, she gives an important scoop to the women in the reporter group.
Wow. She's like a cross between, like, Dr. Seuss and, like, The Exorcist, I'd say. Wouldn't you guys?
Yeah.
I think so. All right, pilots, you heard the clues. Tell me the decade where Medivh is now hiding. 1930s, 1950s, or 1960s? Remembering the clues we just heard, Eleanor Roosevelt is First Lady, White House press conferences for women, and New Deal programs to end Great Depression. All right, guys, lock onto an answer as soon as you can. Very good. All right, Adam, what'd you say?
I said the 1930s.
All right, Vimmel?
I also said the 1930s.
Colleen?
I said the 1950s.
All right, correct answer is 1930s, actually. So 10 points for Adam and Vimmel. All right, you know, Eleanor Roosevelt gave female journalists the respect they had long deserved. But the stories they write won't make it to the press unless we save the newspaper. So let's warp to the 1930s.
Anybody feel like shooting the breeze?
Whoa, we made it to the 1930s, time pilots, but Medivh just fried our fact fuel, so it's time to refuel with a data boost. Time pilots, I'll give you the name of a famous woman. Your job, buzz in and tell me yes if she was a first lady, or no if she was not. If you're right, you get 5 power points. If you're wrong, you lose 5. Remember, yes, she was a first lady, or no, she was not. Eleanor Roosevelt. This Colleen, yes.
Yes.
Yes, she was. She was First Lady from 1933 to 1945. How about Louisa May Alcott? Yes, Vimmel.
No.
Correct. Alcott wrote the book Little Women. Dolly Madison. Going to Colleen.
Yes.
Yes, she was. Dolly Madison became First Lady in 1809. Nell Carter. Going again to Colleen.
No.
No, she wasn't. Rosalind Carter was First Lady. Nell Carter was a star of a sitcom in the 1980s. Give me a break. All right, Lady Bird Johnson. Going again to Colleen.
No.
Actually, she was. Her real name is Claudia Taylor Johnson. She was nicknamed Lady Bird as a child. All right, though, guys, great job because we've replenished our fact fuel. And that means we're ready for time travel, all right? So, hey, wait. Hey, that's a clue finder. It's locked onto a message from, hey, the unknown explorer. Let's check in with him. Watch the view screen. Hey, what's up?
At last, I've reached land in 1973. And look, a pack of reporters. They're come to cover my arrival.
Those reporters, Explorer, are at the Watergate Hotel complex. But a year ago, some supporters of the Republican president were arrested for breaking into the Democratic headquarters there.
No wonder there are so many journalists.
Well, at first, the media wasn't too interested, and the president said he wasn't involved. But reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein pursued the Watergate break-in story and began revealing a White House cover-up.
Oh, so their stories led to more media scrutiny.
Exactly. Eventually, the president will be implicated in the scandal, and he'll be forced to resign.
Woodward and Bernstein should do a story on me. Plenty of sandals have rocked my raft.
No, I said scandals, Explorer. But if Woodward and Bernstein are listening, I'm sure they'll get back to you. Okay? All right. Okay. That's good enough for him. I don't know, I think he gets too much sun to his brain. What do you think? All right, time pilots, you heard the clues. For 10 power points, name the president who was forced to resign. Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, or Warren Harding. Remember the clues we just heard? The year, 1973. Watergate break-in scandal. Reporters Woodward and Bernstein reveal White House cover-up. All right, Adam, what'd you say, pal?
I said Richard Nixon.
All right, Vimmel?
I also chose Richard Nixon.
Colleen?
I said Richard Nixon.
Well, you know what? The answer is Richard Nixon. Very good. 10 points for everybody. That's what we like to see. And pilots, the Watergate scandal was some of the biggest news in our nation's history, forcing Nixon to resign in 1974. But Nixon's cover-up might stay covered up without newspapers to report it. So, pilots, we've got to make one final leap forward in time, and that means an ultimate data boost. All right, guys, in an ultimate data boost, each correct answer is worth 10 power points. If you get it right, you get 10 power points. If you get it wrong, you lose 10. And this is the point where you can rack up points to see who goes on to complete this mission, all right? It'll be tough. All right, guys, I'll give you a statement about Richard Nixon. Your job, buzz in and tell me if it's true or false. Like I said, each correct answer gets you 10 power points. If you're wrong, you lose 10. Remember, true or false. He gave Elvis Presley an honorary drug enforcement agent's badge. Going to Vimmel.
False.
Actually, it's true. It is true. His nickname was Richard the Lionheart. Yes, again, Vimmel.
Also false.
That is false. Richard the Lionheart was a king of England during the Crusades. He had a family dog named Checkers. Going this time to Adam.
True.
Actually, it is true. Very good. He served as vice president under Dwight D. Eisenhower. Going this time to Colleen.
True.
Correct. After serving as vice president, he ran for president in 1960 and lost to John F. Kennedy. He was a swimsuit model before going into politics. Yes, Colleen.
False.
I sure hope it's false. You're right, it is false. He was the first U.S. president to visit Moscow. Yes, Vimmel.
True.
True. He made his historic visit in 1972. His father was once president of General Motors. Yes, Vimmel.
False.
Correct, it is false. Nixon's father was a grocer. Finally, political opponent labeled him Tricky Dick. True or false? Yes, Adam.
True.
It is true. Very nice, guys. Let's see how well we did. Okay. Adam has 165 power points. Vimmel has 175 power points, and Colleen has 165 power points, which means that we've got a tie to see who goes on to complete this mission. And just lucky me, I've got a tiebreaker here, too, okay? So this is what's going to happen, guys. To break the tie, I'll give you clues about a U.S. president, okay? The first one to identify the president correctly goes on to the next round. All right, you may buzz in as often as you like. He was the 32nd president of the United States. He had suffered from polio. The only president elected to 4 terms. Yes, Colleen.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Actually, no, it's incorrect. Known for his New Deal legislation.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Yes, it is Franklin Delano Roosevelt is the correct answer, which means that Adam and Vimmel are going to move on to the next stage of this mission. But Colleen, that was very close. You did a wonderful job. You really did. Good today. And now, the chief wants to say a few words to express our appreciation.
Catching medieval would be poetic justice, and I'm proud you never gave up the chase. As a reward for your accomplishments, I've requisitioned an Acme TimeNet mission pack just for you. It includes a deluxe Britannica World Atlas, this official Carmen t-shirt, the Chrono Skimmer cap with you-know-who's picture in front, a wear-in-time watch, and finally, an Acme TimeNet home gym, better known as the Carmen Sandiego CD-ROM library and board games. They're packed with clues and cases to keep a time pilot in tip-top shape. Congratulations.
Okay, Squadron, we send Colleen back to TimeNet Command while we stay on board here and complete this mission. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Chief, we're ready.
Time pilots, the history of journalism is at stake. Get to Washington, D.C. in 1973 and run an ad for that newspaper. Kevin, you're in command.
Aye, aye, Chief. Time pilots, full speed ahead to 1973. Look, Mediva's got the newspaper in a cybersphere. Activate the looped tractor beam.
You haven't heard the last of me, Time Pilot.
All right, we've gotten back the newspaper and have it safely on board. Congratulations, guys. You've completed mission objective number 1. But before we continue chasing Mediva, we've got to return the loot to 1609. So let's check in with the Chief to get our flight plan. Chief!
Time pilots, you must navigate the chrono skimmer through 8 events from the history of journalism, starting at the most recent event and finishing at the least recent event. The time pilot who does that goes on to chase Carmen and Mediva along the trail of time. Here are the events on your flight plan. Woodward and Bernstein report on the Watergate scandal. Newspapers are introduced in Europe. The Pulitzer Prizes are first awarded. CNN begins broadcasting. The first photograph printed in a newspaper appears. The news covers the Hindenburg disaster. The Peanuts comic strip, featuring Charlie Brown and his friends, debuts. The First Amendment is adopted, guaranteeing freedom of the press. That's your briefing, Time pilots. Good luck on your journey.
All right, Vimmel, you had the highest score. You have the choice of going first or second.
I think I'll go first.
All right, in that case, Vimmel, I want you to navigate this chrono skimmer back through time from the most recent event to the least recent event, starting by picking the most recent event on the board. You may begin.
The CNN began broadcasting.
Correct, 1980.
First report on the Watergate scandal.
Correct, you've plotted a course to 1972. Can you pick the next most recent event?
First Pulitzer Prize.
All right, back to Adam.
CNN begins broadcasting.
Yes, 1980.
First report on Watergate scandal.
Correct, 1972.
Peanuts comic strip debuts.
Yes, 1950.
News covers Hindenburg disaster.
1937, correct, keep going.
First Pulitzer Prize is awarded.
Yes, you've gotten us to 1917. They were established by newspaper tycoon Joseph Pulitzer to honor achievement in journalism, writing, and music. Can you pick the next most recent event?
First photo printed in the newspaper.
Correct, 1842. Keep going.
First Amendment adopted.
Yes, 1791. Keep going.
Europe's first newspapers.
Correct. You've saved history, Adam. Congratulations. Wonderful job. Stay right there. Don't move, because we're going to move on in just a moment. Vimmel, that was so close. Back and forth you guys are batting. Both very smart guys. And right now, the Chief wants to tell you about your next mission.
TimeNet is lucky to have pilots like you. In fact, we're promoting you to Airborne Control and Navigational Ensign, or ACNE. Hey, I didn't make up the nickname, but I am issuing you this terrific TimeNet mission pack and a state-of-the-art portable CD player. You'll need it on future missions to listen to secret orders, perform crucial auditory research, and to just really rock out. Great work, Time Pilot. I salute you.
All right, Adam, you navigated us back to 1609 and restored the newspapers. Maybe tomorrow they'll put a little ad in for you, you know? But right now, Vimmel is piloting the chrono skimmer back to the present. But Adam, Mediva, and Carmen are still out there on the move, and we've got to chase them down. It's time for us to exit the chrono skimmer and head for the trail of time. You ready?
Yeah.
Chief, is that a go?
Kevin, I'm energizing the transportal sequencer. Get ready to depart the chrono skimmer.
Okay, Chief, we're ready. Look out, Carmen, we're on our way.
Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego. Stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego. We're on the case and they're chasing us through history.
Hey, Adam, we made it to the trail of time. You've got to track Carmen through 6 time portals by answering her questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Ready, set, go, Adam. Go. Follow the engine crew to the first portal.
It's 1863. How is Matthew Brady documenting the Civil War? Interviews or photographs?
Photographs.
Yes, way to go. Go on to the second portal.
It's 1896. Which newspaper prints the first full-page color comic strip? New York World or Boston Globe?
Boston Globe.
Crank the crank behind you. Crank the crank to open the gate. Keep going. Keep going. Almost there. All right. You've got 4 more to go. You've got 56 seconds left.
It's 1918. Pravda is what country's news source? China or Russia?
China.
Pull the rope. Pull the rope to open the gate. Keep going. Keep pulling, pulling, pulling. Keep pulling. Attaboy. Keep going. Pull one more time. Go, 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 go. All right. And you captured Mediva. Congratulations.
It's 1933. Which First Lady welcomes female reporters? Mamie Eisenhower or Eleanor Roosevelt?
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Yes, you've got 2 more to go. You've got 19 seconds left.
It's 1960. Who does John F. Kennedy face in televised debates? Richard Nixon or Lyndon Johnson?
Lyndon Johnson.
No, crank the crank. Crank the crank to open the gate. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Time and Carmen has escaped, but you did capture Mediva. That's a tough job. You've done that and you've returned the loot to its proper place and time. You should be proud of yourself. And right now, the Chief's got a word for you. Chief?
No time pilot ever worked harder than you did today. And in honor of your achievement, I'm issuing you a full 32-volume set of Encyclopedia Britannica. It's packed with articles, maps, and illustrations that will put all of history at your fingertips. Plus, you'll receive this stereo CD music system with radio and dual cassette recorder. Pilot, you're promoted to head navigator. Congratulations.
You made a great time, pilot. You had a rough mission there, but you did very well. You've returned the loot to its proper place and time, and you captured Mediva. But right now, history is our job. The future is yours.
We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Throttle open, thrusters on, chrono skimmer gets us strong. Pack extra socks and we'll all beat the clock from the Stone Age to Middle Age to Space Age and back. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego. Stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time.
All historical information has been verified by Encyclopedia Britannica and was accurate as of the date this program was recorded. This program was produced by WGBH Boston and...